Oh geez, here we go again.
Here we go again.
But everyone, seriously.
It's time to stop messing around.
Because an interesting thing happened the other day to a company known as Google, or Google, as they like to call themselves. You might have heard of them. Now, in case your head was buried in the sand or you were under a rock, don't worry, I won't tell anyone, it'll be our little secret. But the DOJ has come out and delivered a knockout punch of a lawsuit against Google.
Hey.
Okay, here we go. We're getting in the weeds. I'm on DOJ's website right now, and this is pretty recent, as of a few days ago. Justice Department is suing Google for monopolizing digital advertising technologies. Now, this is pretty big. Maybe not for, the person that's just, sitting at home, whatever, but this is going to be a big case, especially from a standpoint of antitrust regulation. Maybe we'll finally see corporations getting their feet held to the fire for their monopolistic behaviors. Now, this article that the DOJ wrote basically summarizes and waters down the actual lawsuit. It tells you everything you need to know, so if you don't have the time to comb through the entire lawsuit, which is 150 pages, this is a good summary and will tell you everything you need to know. And, as alleged in the complaint, over the past 15 years, Google has engaged in a course of anti-competitive and exclusionary conduct that consisted of neutralizing or eliminating ad tech competitors through acquisitions, wielding its dominance across digital advertising markets to force more publishers and advertisers to use its products, and thwarting the ability to use competing products. In doing so, Google cemented its dominance in tools relied on by website publishers and online advertisers, as well as the digital advertising exchange that runs ad auctions. It's a pretty good start right there. There's flow charts that, explain everything, what Google was doing to basically put themselves at the center of, buying and selling advertising space. Acquiring competitors, forcing adoption of Google's tools, distorting auction competition, auction manipulation. If we jump over to the actual lawsuit, here we have, of course, at the top, the DOJ, Virginia, California, Colorado, Connecticut, New Jersey, New York, Rhode Island, and Tennessee are all writing up this lawsuit against Google. The table of contents is pretty good here. A lot of information to comb through. This lawsuit is very well composed. It details everything from basically the scope of the lawsuit to explaining how the ad technologies work. So the layperson could read this and get a general idea of what's happening and how Google manipulated the markets and, shoved its competitors to the side to make sure that it was at the center of advertising technologies. One thing that I want to zoom in on, if I go down to, I believe, page 69. Okay, Google buys and kills a burgeoning competitor and then tightens the screws. By 2010, Google's rivals had begun to design and market technology in an attempt to circumvent the limitations on competition that Google imposed through its publisher ad server. Google's response was forceful, extinguishing the leading innovator via acquisition and tightening the restrictions to head off similar potential threats. Google continued to impede its rivals' ability to offer real-time competition for publisher inventory on the same playing field as Google's ad exchange. Google used anti-competitive means to keep customers on both sides of the stack, locked into its ad tech tools while ensuring that competitors for those valuable customers were locked out. That's huge. That is, without a doubt, monopolistic behavior. That is exactly what a monopoly would do. Buy out its competition and then hog the market. Let's jump over to an article that was written by Dan Taylor, who I guess is the vice president of global ads at Google. This is blog.google, so I imagine he works for Google. DOJ's lawsuit ignores the enormous competition in the online advertising industry. Now, coming off of what we just read in both the summary and that paragraph I read from the actual lawsuit, this seems like a very, very, very poorly worded article title. But let's read on. The lawsuit tries to rewrite history at the expense of publishers, advertisers, and internet users. Boo-hoo, Google. DOJ is demanding that we unwind 2 acquisitions that were reviewed by US regulators 12 years ago, AdMeld, and 15 years ago, DoubleClick. In seeking to reverse these 2 acquisitions, DOJ is attempting to rewrite history at the expense of publishers, advertisers, and internet users. Both of these acquisitions enabled us to invest heavily in developing new and innovative advertising technologies. These deals were reviewed by regulators, including by DOJ, and allowed to proceed. Since then, competition in this sector has only increased. Well, by the looks of it, it doesn't seem that way at all. Let's keep reading the next paragraph. Google extinguishes AdMeld's potential threat. In 2011, Google acquired a competitor, AdMeld. In doing so, Google removed from the market what is viewed as a critical threat to its ad exchange and publisher ad server businesses. AdMeld's yield management technology could receive bids in real time from multiple ad exchanges and other demand sources. This could allow other ad exchanges to compete in the same way Google's publisher ad server allowed Google's ad exchange to compete through dynamic allocation, utilizing in part a real-time bidding standard. Publishers quickly moved to adopt the yield management technology because it allowed them to multi-home more effectively among ad exchanges and ad networks. It also gave publishers the ability to connect with the advertisers who especially valued their inventory. In contrast, Google's publisher ad server did not permit connections to any advertising demand source other than the buyers on the AdX and AdExchange, which of course includes Google Ads advertiser base. Quite simply, AdMeld threatened to destroy the advantage Google had created for itself in its exclusionary publisher ad server by allowing website creators to offer their digital advertising inventory to multiple ad exchanges in order to find the best available match. So, we see the contrast here, right? So, on one end, this article is complaining, or this blog, whatever you want to call it, is complaining that like, hey, we acquired these businesses fair and square, and competition has only increased. Yet, on the contrary, we're seeing that Google acquired these businesses to press them out of the market and make sure that Google could maintain center stage. Let's look at all of Google's acquisitions from 2001 to 2022. 255 acquisitions, from robotic software to artificial intelligence, robotic software and artificial intelligence, cybersecurity, audio hardware, mobile app development, cloud hosting, learning apps, file storage, big data, analytics, video sharing, Q&A apps, big data, cloud migration, voice communication, mobile app platform, data science, productivity suite, internet service provider, image recognition, mobile developer tools, cloud software, ebook subscriptions, mobile app optimizer, mobile software, virtual reality software, mobile video, graphics compatibility testing, music streaming, home monitoring, a lot. They acquired a lot. And I see a lot of these types of companies that they're buying out. They can only help Google further oh, look, right here. Number 7, online advertising. Wow. Google is only looking out for Google. in the sense that they want to dominate the sphere of online advertising. And it's clear through what they've been doing, through not only the number of acquisitions that they've made, but the types of acquisitions. There's a paragraph here on April 13th of 2007, Google reached an agreement to acquire DoubleClick for $3.1 billion. Remember DoubleClick from this article? Let's keep reading. Transferring to Google valuable relationships that DoubleClick had with web publishers and advertising agencies. The deal was approved despite antitrust concerns raised by competitors, Microsoft and AT&T. So, yeah, you can make the argument there, ooh, government bad, whatever. But there were, at the time, antitrust concerns, and now it's coming full circle. Yet, this article is trying to convince us that Google acquiring AdMeld and DoubleClick benefited the market somehow. Now, this next part, government shouldn't pick winners and losers in a competitive industry. We are one of hundreds of companies that enable the placement of ads across the internet, blah, 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 blah. Now, I mostly disagree with this blog, but one part that I can actually, come around on is that the government better not stop at Google. The government better take this and start targeting other big corporations like Amazon, Microsoft, etc. Big corporations that are clearly just as guilty as Google, because if they just single Google out, punish Google for its monopolistic behavior, and then go, well, job done, that only opens the doors for another corporation to step in and pick up where Google left off, and it could be another 10 years, it could be another 20 years before the DOJ steps back in and says, oh, hey, wait a minute. Now all these corporations are acting like monopolies. It's just, it's mind-boggling. It's mind-numbing. But I hope Google gets taken to task on this, and I hope this isn't the end. And, of course, if you want to read through all of my sources, I'll, like the actual lawsuit here, I'll link everything down in the description. Just, click on the stupid little link down there, and you can read all this for yourself. Like I said, it's a lot of information. It's a lot to take in. I could go on for days about this, but the nitty-gritty is DOJ is suing Google's ass for monopolistic behavior. I hope Google gets taken down for this, and I hope it doesn't stop there. I hope this is only the beginning, because I would love to see the DOJ or state governments leading the charge to take down more corporations that are behaving like monopolies.
Well, there you have it.
More evidence of dirtbag corporations being
Dirtbags.
I really hope something comes of this lawsuit. I really hope Google gets taken to task, and I hope that this is only the beginning. I really want to see the DOJ pursue more lawsuits like this. I want to see individual states pursue more lawsuits like this. Corporations shouldn't be safe. They shouldn't be allowed to just do whatever they want and expect they can just get away with it and laugh all the way to the bank. That ain't how that works. That'll do it for this video. I hope you all learned something. Like I said, my sources will be linked in the description, so go ahead and check them out, educate yourselves, and have a wonderful day.
Bye-bye now.